All right.
We are back.
2 weeks in a row.
Wow.
It's only because of the 4th of July is next week. So
Yeah. Independence Day.
We're here with the full crew.
Aliens are coming.
Me, Joe, Brenden.
Bryson.
Bryson's in the other room. All right. So,
what are we talking about today?
Today we have the moon. We're going to go into a bunch of different aspects of the moon.
Dude.
Just
it's made out of cheese.
Yeah. But before we get into that, Brendan's got a story. Brenden has a story.
Whoa! A Brendan story.
All right.
Oh, he said which one?
No, the one you said.
He literally said which one.
I know, right?
So you got multiple stories today?
So
what were we about to tell Joe? I forgot already.
It was the Academy one or whatever.
Yeah. All right, so I was in the Academy for corrections, and we were doing PT in the morning. Physical training.
Yes, we know.
For people that don't know.
Yeah, and so
I'm
a fat sack of shit. So it's tough for me to stay in.
Emphasis
cadence.
on fat and shit.
Yeah, I'm a fat sack of shit. It's hard for me to stay in cadence with the DIs who are.
He said cadence.
I know.
He said cadence.
Yeah.
He said cadence.
All right, so we were doing what the fuck were we doing? I think 8-count push-up. It's like a fucking squat thrust and a push-up all in like one setting. And
yeah, little burpees, huh?
It's something. You don't jump up, but it's similar. It was to the point everyone was standing up, and I guess I didn't do a full cycle, but I like tried to get up to speed with everyone else.
And he came over and he Sparta kicked you in the chest. I wish he did.
See, my DI had like I don't know if he had a lazy eye or something, but like when he looked forward, it didn't look like he was looking at you.
He's like, I'm looking at the guy behind you.
It didn't ever look like he was looking at you. He had those eyes. So he called me out, but I didn't know it was me.
Like
some reason,
Adam Sandler's friend in all his movies.
Oh,
he's like cross-eyed.
Yeah.
It was in The Waterboy, and he like played it off real good. That he was like real cross-eyed.
Yeah.
So, he was like the linebacker.
So he called me out because I wasn't keeping up with the group.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, go on.
And
you're not keeping up with the group like usual.
For some reason, like when I finally realized he was talking, like I was gonna ask if he was talking to me, but for some reason my voice registered like super fucking high, and I went, "Sir," or something like that. I can't remember like how high it was. I don't think it was that high, but.
So your gay side came on, you're like,
yeah,
yes, sir.
So, something like that. So basically, through the rest of the academy, everyone would make fun of me for the high start. Even the DI, like every time, they're like, "Hey, you're that sir guy." Like, fucking the entire fucking thing. Was fucking
What?
one of our session leader was making a what the fuck are they called? Like. Things you work out to. They were like a
mixtape.
Mixtape?
No. You know how like in the military they say or they like
a regimen,
like
a program.
Oh, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay,
something like that. But during like halfway through it, one of the things was he went, "Sir, sir, sir, sir." Everybody in the fucking room while we're doing this fucking thing started laughing their ass off.
That is funny.
So yeah, the whole rest of the academy, every time anyone like addressed me, it was just sir.
So not only are you chubby, you're uncoordinated.
I'm very uncoordinated.
You have to do everything in your power to make sure you don't.
I'm surprised he can drive.
Exactly.
I'm surprised he can drive a stick because he's so
Yes.
uncoordinated.
But fortunately, when I was going through, I thought when I got there, I was gonna be the fucking Full Metal Jacket.
Gomer Pyle?
I thought I was going to be the Pyle of the group.
Let's turn it down.
And I wasn't. There was someone else that was, so I was happy enough to do that.
He was Gomer Pyle. He was the second Gomer.
Yeah, he was
second in line.
There was a couple ahead of me. I didn't get called out often. I think that was that and one other time were the only times I actually got called out for not keeping up. But it wasn't too bad. Because I still tried, man. I was still trying. I was sweating my ass off, so they saw that I was doing what I had to do.
Were you lower in weight at that time?
He lost a lot of weight.
I was probably where I am now when I started, but I lost like 30 pounds when I was in there and gained it all back.
Because he worked in an ice cream factory.
Yeah, pretty much. I actually gained it back when I was working in corrections.
Oh,
you sit around all night.
Did you eat a lot of ice cream?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
At the ice cream
did?
factory?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
There
know
goes
that.
that fucking high.
Yeah.
Yeah! Can we, like, cut that and use that?
We can.
Yeah!
You guys stop.
I can go higher.
So, do you got anything from the week?
Nah,
Because I don't have anything
someone
either.
got maced today at Price Right.
Wait, what?
What?
Yeah, dude, he was trying to get out with the 60, you know, the long Goya sausages?
Yeah.
That you cut up
Yep.
with pepperoni?
Yeah.
He was trying to get out of there with 60 of them.
Where did he have 60 hidden? Did he have
No,
rubber bands
yeah,
around
he-
his pants?
He had a Price Right bag.
Oh.
And you just put them in the
He was
bag
trying
and
to
just
walk
walk out.
How old was
And
he?
he got maced.
And I guess that security, Price Right security, carried mace. And they said, "Hey, get back here!" And he looked, and he went.
I wish they carried bear mace. That'd be even better. Or a taser.
Dude, bear mace.
Alright, so one,
doesn't
I
it
wonder
fly
what
like
percentage they
30
actually carry.
feet?
Yeah, he can mace them from the front of the store to the
Yeah.
back of the store.
So he dropped the sausages and ran.
I didn't see where he was going.
No, we ran right into
Right
traffic.
to the door. Like, I don't know what percent they carry there because I've been sprayed twice and that stuff ain't. Yeah, it's not fun.
I don't know. They said he just ran out. So he
Like, we had to do stuff.
Who told you that, Mike?
More
Or
of a man
did
than
Mike
you.
tell you that, or Casey?
No, Jason
Excuse
Jack.
me,
Oh,
motherfucker?
yeah.
Casey's gone,
I had it
man.
done twice. And I had to do stuff. Yeah, I had to do stuff.
He did too. He had to run away.
Yeah, he ran
I
home.
had to
He was
I
running.
had to get a baton, fucking smash a dummy like a bunch of times, and then I had to put it back. And
Yeah, I bet you smashed your fair share of dummies in your day.
They had to get a baton, beat the black.
Or did the dummy
beat the black
smash you?
dummy.
Was this training for the Ku Klux Klan?
Dear Lord.
They had to turn the cross upside
Listen,
down
man.
and light it on fire.
Listen, man, I don't see.
Did you guys have to find your hood?
Then
Listen.
get totally into their hood. Their fucking hood.
I don't see in color, man. Don't be pulling that shit.
So you're colorblind too?
Yes.
So what you're saying is you only see black and white. We got you now. We got you now. If you're not white, you're black.
Dude, yeah, man. I'm telling you, I've been places where I'm like, damn, if you're not white, you're black. They just assume I'm black.
Where were you, in the Bible Belt?
No, in Louisville.
You were at Brendan's front yard.
During his training, I was watching the whole thing. Watching the whole thing.
1, 2, 3, 4, stomp them in the floor.
You fucking they hit him up with the fucking pepper spray. Then he had to tie a noose.
Throw it over. Drag a body.
Get it over the tree.
Get the shovel.
Dude,
Oh,
you're a horrible person.
Guys, you're fucking.
He had to hammer the cross together and hoist it up, all while being maced.
With gasoline.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
you're
man,
ready.
it's dangerous. I commend you for that.
He had
that
a spray
brutal-
paint. He had a spray paint "Go Home" N-word on someone's house when he was maced.
Wow, man. That's a
Spooky ghost.
Oh my god, this is the worst episode
What the
ever.
fuck is wrong with you guys?
You just look very white
What are you
supremacy.
talking about, man? What? If
Yeah.
you look like you ever see American History X?
Yes.
He looks like
Big
Seth.
dude? The Seth,
That big.
No, you're not, but
You're not Seth's big, but you keep eating, yeah, you get there one day.
I've been doing less eating except for the cupcakes.
so, except for the 6 cupcakes I ate.
You didn't
Oh my
eat 6
God.
cupcakes.
And the other story, I
Yo,
had
what
a
was
small
going on
story.
there?
Yeah, we were
Yeah, loud
laughing.
that
We
was.
were all laughing. See, look. Like,
Holy shit.
The other small story I got is
I'm sorry if this mic's turned up too much.
I was,
Nah, it's
nah, it's fine. I was doing my
no, because there's
mother's,
audio control on their end. They can turn up and down.
What? Oh yeah.
Go ahead with your 2 stories out of this.
Go on with the chlorophyll.
Fucking, I was doing
More
my
like
mother's
horror,
breaks
bro.
the other day at home, and
Oh yeah.
Oh, the breaks.
yeah, I was doing her breaks, and I started getting like really pissed off because I couldn't get the counter bolts off.
This is
Fucking.
hold on. Pause. This is you know how you said he's dumb and uncoordinated. This is
This
proof.
is proof.
He's dumb and uncoordinated.
So, like, I'm spraying these things with PB Blaster. I'm wrenching on these things. I can't get these fucking things off. I got
He
pissed off.
can't get the
Stormed
caliber
house,
bolts
like,
out.
For like 3 times I stormed in the house. It was like an hour that I took trying to do this, and I'm like, I can't fucking do this. Go take it to a goddamn shop. Just yelling at my mother. And,
It's her fault.
It's your fault.
You
And
pushed out the brake
like I
too
know
hard.
the whole righty tighty lefty loosey thing with the fucking wrench, But for some reason in my mind, I was turning the wrench itself to the left, but my mind wasn't registering when you turn it left, the head of it is turning right.
That's
So
not how that works.
I know.
If you turn it, it goes the way you're
the
turning.
Yeah. Exactly what happened was I was...
no, right? It doesn't make any sense.
Turning
His
the
brain's
bolts
stupid.
the wrong
he
way.
was looking like, this
No,
is going my left.
The handle was
and not
going
my
this
right.
way.
Yeah.
The handle was going this way, but that means the head of it
Yeah,
that
it was
way.
going right, which was,
It was
tightening.
tightening. So yeah, for like an hour straight,
He was fucking
yelling at my
tightening the
mom,
shit out of
fucking
his ball.
motherfucking in my garage, and I was going the wrong way the entire time.
Wait, so when you figured it out, did they just come
They
right
came
around?
right
Yeah, he's fucking just cranking on it, going righty-tighty, thinking it's going left.
Half a can of fucking PB
Yeah,
Blaster.
have a can of PB Blaster later. He had enough to fucking oil up everything in the United States. He's fucking...
Dude, he was probably so oiled up.
Oh, yeah.
You're sitting in
Spraying it
there.
on myself,
He
you
was sitting
moron.
there, no shirt. No
It
shirt.
was fucking
Brendan.
like 90
He's
degrees.
rubbing in like
was,
baby
It was
oil.
hot as hell outside that day too, so that wasn't helping my attitude.
Were you taping this?
No.
Were
You
why
shut
not?
up!
You should've taped
No, because
it.
it wasn't like, oh, hey guys, I'm gonna do a
You
great
guys,
job here.
yeah, you guys, and then you could have gotten 100,000 views
Oh,
because
yeah,
of your
some
stupid going the
idiot
wrong way
turns it the
for a
wrong
half
way.
hour or an hour.
No, it would have been
man.
one of those
I was
videos
so
where it
pissed
cuts
off.
and then it cuts back when he figures it out.
Yep.
I didn't tell my mom that I was turning the wrong way though.
Your mom was like,
I just
what
like,
happened?
yeah, I
it was
finally
really
got
tight.
it.
They were really tight.
Yeah, whoever did them last fucking cranked them down. I got
You?
it finally. I didn't do them last. I think my dad did.
All right. We got anything else? We good?
That's it for
I don't
me.
have
You
anything.
got, oh
How
my
do you
god.
not have anything?
Yeah.
What about
Yeah,
you
nothing.
seeing that guy again?
He was just drunk again.
Oh,
The
Oh,
bicycle- the bicycle guy was
fell
just
off
drunk
his bike
again,
last
yeah.
episode of him.
drunk again, man.
He was drinking. He didn't die.
Which way did we go, George?
Live off the fat of the man.
All right, so let's jump right in here, and we're gonna start talking about the moon. So everyone knows what we were told in school about.
cheese.
No, everyone knows about what we were told in school. The moon was part of the Earth when we were struck by an asteroid, which gave us our tilt and our spin, and it eventually, by gravity and spinning, it became the round object that we have now.
Who made that bullshit up?
Scientist.
Right?
That's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah,
Where did it
no.
come from?
Well,
Right?
But
all right,
at
so
what part of
two
our Earth did that
aspects of
come
that could
from?
be- how do they know?
They
and
say
how do you
the
know?
Pacific Ocean.
Antarctica?
No, they say the Pacific
Well,
Ocean.
no,
No,
because
see,
I
it
thought
was
it was
blown
before the Earth
out.
was formed and it was still molten. And that's how it got me.
It was blown out of Antarctica. That's what made the
Yeah.
sun.
Oh, the
and
hole, the
hollow Earth.
cavity.
And bam! Now
Yeah,
it's the
man,
moon.
the
There you
moon's
go.
what was inside the Earth the whole
The
time.
Earth is like a golf ball.
So
see?
the Earth's like a donut.
Yes.
And the poles are the holes.
Dude, and then a big ass Homer Simpson's like,
Yeah. All right, so
Donut.
that's the information we were told in school. That's what we quote unquote know to be real.
Right.
But when you break down the actual what you look at the moon is, the moon is like in this perfect. Am I boring you?
Nope.
Yeah.
The moon is in this perfect cycle around the Earth. This what's the word I'm looking for?
Orbit?
Orbit. Thank you. This perfect orbit around the Earth that just so happens to, like, it has phases, but we only see one side of the moon at
It has
all
phasers.
times. Phases.
So it doesn't rotate itself.
It does rotate, but what's weird is no matter where you are on the planet at night, it's always the same side that we see.
Is that true?
Yes. It's really weird. The moon does rotate,
Yeah.
but the only time the sun shines on it when we see it at night
Is it
is
the
always
same
the same position.
Huh.
Yeah.
Because we always see the face.
Yes. That's why, like, the Apollo astronauts...
face in the moon.
That's why when the Apollo astronauts were there, that's another episode.
Oh,
Don't
boy.
get into it.
Oh, jeez.
It's another episode. Don't get into it. We... Like, they say, okay, we're approaching the dark side of the moon because we're coming off of visible sight of us, and it's turning. So... But, okay, so it's in this perfect orbit where without the moon, life on Earth would not exist. Because of the pull of the moon's gravity is what creates our
Tides.
our high tides and low tides, and that sloshing of the water is what they say created life on the planet because it's this constant movement. Yeah. So, but like, once again, we go back. Why did you slurp? Whatever.
Because it was soup.
It's primordial ooze, not soup.
It was soup. I was always told it was soup.
Okay. Anyway, but just the fact that alone, and it's in the orbit where it perfectly aligns to make an eclipse of the sun, is so at the astronomical numbers that it would take for that to just randomly occur is crazy.
Right. Speaking of which, that's supposed to be happening, I believe, next year for us. We're supposed
2022.
2022? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're supposed to see totality.
Because
Can we just see an eclipse?
that was
half.
2018, and we only got to see like our sun, and it was like this is our sun, and it was like this. I have pictures of it too. We only saw this much of it.
So it's gonna be a total.
We'll have
totality.
the path of totality, which is you see the total eclipse of the sun.
It's pretty cool. You have to see the
It's
shadow.
gonna come. It's gonna
You
come
can
like
actually look up.
so.
Yeah,
Can you actually look up at that one?
Yeah, you can take your
You
glasses
can't-
off. You
no.
can look at it.
No,
Yeah, you can.
no, you can't.
When it's
That's it.
full block, you can.
No, you are not supposed to. Did you not hear about all the stupid millennials who did that in the path of totality,
And then they're blind.
Yeah, and they had to go to the hospital. There was guys putting sunblock in their eyes trying to see it too.
That's just stupid.
Yeah.
Why would you do
Shut
that?
up.
I'm not
That's
kidding.
what's being made up now.
No, it's not.
I got some.
I can find news articles about
in
that.
my eye yesterday, and it was burning like hell.
So, alright, and then the moon is just this crazy orbiting, quote unquote, rock
Yes.
that's there that we really don't know how it got there. And, because if you think about it, if we did get hit by an asteroid.
But you know when they say the moon's literally there because it's in our orbit, correct?
Mhm.
So how come they say when the Earth ends, we can go to the moon or Mars? Wouldn't the moon just fly away? It would no longer.
Well,
be, if
when
we
got
you
attracted by
say the
someone else's
Earth
orbit.
ends,
yeah,
that means
dies.
there's no sustainable life.
Yeah,
able
the
on
Earth
Earth.
still exists.
The
Well,
Earth-
maybe it doesn't.
So then if it
Yeah, it
explodes,
explodes.
it'll probably get trapped in a decaying orbit to the sun. It'll get sucked
Right.
towards the sun.
So where would the moon?
Or it'll just stick in
That's
the
what I
orbit.
said. It would get sucked into
Would
a
it get
decaying
okay?
orbit.
So it's a funny story. Not a funny story, but there's a game that I've seen people play that mimics orbits and stuff. You can change like the mass of different planets and
Mhm.
stuff to see how it'll affect
Yeah.
the orbit. I should look into it to see what'll happen if you remove the Earth from the picture. What'll happen to the moon?
The moon is
Because it's pretty
What kind
interesting.
of
How like,
nerdy
you
ass
can
game
change.
is this?
I think it was like Universe Simulator or something. It was fucking
yeah.
weird.
So there's a game out there for everything.
But it was cool because you could change every
Yeah.
aspect of every
Because
detail.
Mars is too far away, Venus is too far away. It's probably and it's such a small body that it has such little gravity itself.
Yeah.
Like I think it's like one. It's not even like a quarter gravity. It's less than that of Earth. That's why that you see them they're leaping and bounding.
Doing the moonwalk.
Yeah. So it would probably decay into an orbit and get burned up by the sun. Because you got to remember, because you see our planetary model where we're all circling the sun.
Yeah. Why wouldn't the moon just continue circling the sun?
But it's so small, it would probably get sucked in. It's not big enough to stay where it is.
Yeah, but if it got close enough to another planet, it might get.
It might. But you got to remember,
up by that.
we're like this, traveling. Here's our sun. We're traveling like this, but we're trailing back. Because we're on the Milky Way arms, and those are spinning. So we're not like this tabletop flat model that you see of our not our universe, of the solar system. It's actually like a corkscrew. Like we are corkscrewing behind it, being pulled along to the sun. Like eventually, all the planets will decay. Their orbits will decay into the sun. As long as that sun stays alive, we're eventually. That's the fight. Is
Of
we
course,
are being
the bigger
pulled.
it gets too, the bit stronger the gravity.
So when it starts to go supernova, that sun gets bigger, and will probably take it'll probably take Mercury just by its expansion, and then because of its expansion, the gravity grows, and is going to pull everything in faster.
We'll be dead.
Oh yeah, we'll
This is billions of years.
we'll be dead way before that.
Global warming will get us.
That would be global warming.
No, that's fixed now.
So,
That's a whole thing.
so that's the whole thing. Is the question of the moon is, it's so perfectly placed. It created life. Without the moon, we wouldn't exist. It's such a question, and then we get into, was it artificially placed there by aliens?
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Here we, yeah. Oh, so
What?
oh, so an alien race that has been around longer than us has technology. They bring this asteroid moon,
reptilians,
and they place it in the perfect orbit that it is, so it creates life, where they don't actually have to go down there and seed it. It has the potential for life, but because there's no moon, and the tides aren't working to slosh everything up and mix it together and whatever it does. So there's a theory that it was placed there to create us. Then there's also the theory that it's a monitoring station, that it's placed there. It was there to create us, and it monitors us.
Death Star.
Kind of. What are you looking at me for? You side-eyeing me. So,
Side-eyeing.
but I have pictures and I have stuff for you guys to look at.
How big is the moon? Like, if, say, like...
Size?
Yeah, let's say it's like 6 hours to go from here to New York City. Like, how big does... Like, to go around the whole thing?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
From here to California.
So here we go. We'll throw up like...
Oh, Jesus.
What the fuck?
So here's what I'm talking about here. We have a picture of...
How do you do?
We have a picture of the sun and the moon, and then the Earth, and the you see how it aligns for the path of totality for the eclipse.
We're not that close to the sun.
We're not. It's not drawn to scale, but it's basically showing you what it is.
It would melt.
This is one. They're like, you know,
It
this.
was that big compared
So
to it.
we'll go back to the moon again here, where say they talked about when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, they landed on the moon. They had to do a correction course because of something malfunctioned on the lunar lander when they were landing.
Mm-hmm.
So Neil Armstrong had to do a correction and land, and they hit it very hard. And they said when they hit it, it rang like a bell, like it was hollow, like it, you know.
I did hear about that.
Yes, and NASA also reported too, when they sent their first like probes to the moon, they literally sent probes to the moon, not to land. They crashed them into the moon, and they said when it hit, the recordings that were sent back was this. Boom.
So how come we've never tried to just drill into it?
Because we can't get the. It's
Didn't
super
they do that
expensive.
in Apollo 13?
Fucking Elon Musk is shooting rockets like every fucking week. You can't send a drill to the moon?
To get the what, but you don't realize the size of a drill is that you would use to drill in there is way bigger than a payload that you're sending to the moon.
Yes,
It's all about the ounces when you're sending stuff to the moon, or when you're sending anything into
When the
space.
last time
Yeah, but you
we
see
had
Armageddon, they
someone
drill
on the
into an
moon,
asteroid.
Whenever the space race ended, that was it. We haven't gone to the moon since Neil Armstrong.
I feel like we should go back to the moon, man. What's the deal?
Because they were planning on going back to the moon, but then George Bush and Obama and even now Trump they're pushing.
NASA, right?
They gave money to NASA, but now they're pushing it to do Mars. They want a man on Mars by like I think it was before 2030. They want a man on Mars before that.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, we don't know.
I mean, how long would it take to get to Mars?
To Mars, it's what, 2 months? Pull your phone out, Mr. Google.
Yeah, Mr. Google. You're supposed to be the image guy.
Yeah. Well, I got
Images are up.
I got images now. You got to be the fact checker because I got all my windows open for this.
Okay, Google.
Don't talk to me.
So
Apparently she don't like it. Okay, Google. How long does it take to get to Mars?
I would say it's like
7 months.
7 months. Okay, I knew it was a couple months. I don't remember.
Shit.
Damn. That's a travel.
Yeah,
Damn,
that's why it's so hard.
Okay, Google.
And
How
they
long
said
does it take to get to the moon?
It's 3 days.
Yeah, about 3 days.
That one
24,000 miles.
Yeah.
2,400,000. Wait, hold on. 240,000. There we go. That's the number.
Dude,
I was trying to say.
240,000?
It would only take 6 years to get to fucking Jupiter. So we should do it.
6 years.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Do you realize how?
Jupiter
Do you
is
realize
just
like
gas, right?
the air, the water, and the food you need to fit on a spaceship? You wouldn't be able to launch that spaceship from Earth. You would have to build that spaceship in orbit and launch it from orbit.
Listen, Starship Enterprise, man.
Yeah, exactly. So let's move on to oh, that's not one. We're going back to Gaia.
Weird.
Gaia.
Gaia.
We're going back to
Hey,
Gaia.
oh,
This is our.
Gaia's making me question their shit now with this artificial moon shit. Here.
What do you mean? Gaia reports
Well,
on
hold on.
all
So
this
if our
shit.
moon's artificial, what about the moons for all the other planets that have moons? Are they artificial too?
No.
That's
Well,
why we are the
we-
ones that have life.
Yeah, we have one moon. Everyone else has multiple
Because we're special.
or
Yes,
none.
Doesn't Saturn have like fucking 3
Saturn
moons?
and
23 or something like that?
and even
What am I, like 100 or something like that?
even Mars. Mars has several moons, but they're all smaller than ours. And
Because they're little.
yeah,
little
so
chunks.
why is ours so big
Because
and
it's
so
a big fucking
influential?
asteroid.
Yeah.
There's a big chunk of the center of the Earth.
Yeah, it was the center of the earth, man.
So here, guy is telling us, same thing. Rings like a bell. Blah blah blah.
Oh, I thought we were gonna have a sick ass video.
Oh, you can watch this video.
Is there a video? Does it sound the bell?
The idea that the moon may
Copyright.
be hollow is very scientifically sound.
From Gaia.
And there are actually multiple reasons why this might be.
We're not big enough to
First
get
of
taken
all,
down,
we
guys.
know that
Yeah, we
when
are.
various
No, we're not.
probes actually hit the moon, that there was a ringing tone, almost like a bell.
I want to hear it. What the? That was
That's not
made
real.
up.
That was made up.
The shock wave of the crash vibrated for over 55 minutes. The fact that the module hit the surface over 40 miles away from the seismometer only added to the mystery.
The ringing of the bell is much more consistent with the idea of a shallow, thin hull that is actually conveying those vibrations. Because if you had all that mass inside the moon, it would cancel out the vibration much more quickly than what happened.
How come
So
our
that is a
Earth
very
doesn't
compelling notion.
There's some amazing evidence that suggests the moon may be
The
hollow,
moon
and
is
it comes
smaller
from
than
our
us?
own
Hold on.
USGS.gov. We actually
All right, so Joe asked a really relevant question because we talked about hollow Earth.
So how come we don't?
How come we don't ring? So the Earth is way bigger than the moon. So
Technically, we do because when earthquakes happen, you can
Yeah,
pick that up on the other side.
but what you gotta think is like the walls of the outside of Earth or Moon would be thicker, so it'd be harder to hear it. It'd be such a low tone, you wouldn't be able to hear it. But the other theory is, oh no, where was I going with this? So we'll talk about here is that the same thing. In another article, they talk about all of the. It's actually another video we'll watch. All of the. Will you shut up while I'm trying to talk? Like, all of the craters on. Well, because you're like singing while I'm trying to explain something.
I'm listening.
But he can't hear.
Will you listen to him?
So all the craters on the moon are the same depth. They're just they're bigger around, but all the craters are the same depth when they look at them on the. From videos from when they're up there or through a telescope, they all look like they're the same depth. Like, no matter how big the asteroid is, it doesn't dig deep into the Earth like it would like when shit hits us. Therefore, they think that
Something stops.
stopping it, and then like when it settles, that's it. It's that deep. All right, so we'll go back to this.
did our own radar imagery of the moon. This USGS Moon Radar Survey penetrates the surface of the moon. It's penetrating radar. And anybody can see that. You don't need a magnifying glass, you don't need any trickery, you don't need to adjust any settings. All you have to do is download them and open up the files. So the proof that the moon may be hollow, besides the fact that it rings like a bell and we have seismic equipment up there, is the fact that this USGS.gov radar survey, to me, is a smoking gun that the moon is definitely hollow and there's structures beneath it.
So, in that whole sense of this our moon being some kind of artificial construct that's not even necessarily from our solar system. And early on, NASA actually said that. They said that the moon was older than the Earth. And they came up with some...
Right there, that was the theory that the moon was brought here. That's exactly what he's going to say. The moon is older than our Earth. So if it was, quote unquote, made from our Earth when when a asteroid struck it, why would it be older then?
startling conclusions, which NASA has kind of backed away from now.
Deep space.
So that's the end of that video. What do you guys think of that? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, how do we know, other than like carbon dating, if it's older than the Earth? And how far back and like stuff like that?
Well, like exactly, like moon, like rocks that they brought back from the moon were purely like volcanic rocks, and like I'm sure you can carbon date rocks, whatever. Who the fuck knows? I don't know.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we're going there eventually.
Aliens.
I just want to make sure I got the right stuff. So we're gonna pause because I know this one fuck it, whatever. I don't care.
Every
The
4 minutes
surface
I'm
of
going,
the Earth is scarred with tens of thousands of impact craters of various sizes.
They do all look like the same.
Exactly, they're all
Scientists
pretty much the
suggest
same depth.
This is due to the fact that there has never been an atmosphere on the moon to help protect it from bombardment by space debris. There are no natural erosive forces, like wind or flowing water, to affect its surface. And there is little geologic activity to conceal damage done throughout the moon's history.
When you study the distribution of craters, you find the surface is totally saturated. That is, there are craters within craters within craters, right down to the smallest scale of size.
One of the things that's really interesting about lunar craters is that even though some of them are very large and some of them are very small, they all seem to have the same depth. And that really shouldn't happen on a planetary body. There should be variation in depth. So why are the moon's craters so uniform? It's really, really unusual, and it's really not explainable in terms of conventional or established geophysics.
Some of the craters on the moon are nowhere near similar to what they should look like. In fact, they are incredibly wide craters, and wherever the impact point is, they're convex, which means there's still the bulge of the moon, so this doesn't make any sense.
It's likely that there is something under the lunar surface which is very resilient and which is preventing craters going any deeper than they do. This can only really be either much harder rock, which it can't be because of the mass of the moon, or alternatively a metal sphere of some kind which is preventing more damage.
Does the uniform depth of the craters on the moon suggest some sort of metallic barrier underneath moon rock and dust? But if so, why wouldn't mainstream scientists acknowledge this? Ancient astronaut theorists suggest that by doing so, they might also have to acknowledge that the moon may be hollow. November 20th, 1969. During their ascent back to the command module, Commander Charles Conrad Jr. and lunar module pilot Alan Bean release the Apollo 12 launch vehicle and crash it back to the moon.
Apollo 12 Foolishness, the landed on its way down. Roger.
Upon impact, something very unexpected happened. The moon was said to have seismically reverberated like a bell for more than an hour.
With Apollo 12, people referred to a crash. It wasn't really a crash. It was a aimed deorbit of the rocket used to lift off the lunar module. And the crew separated the launch vehicle and crashed it back into the ground right close to where they had a seismograph that they had installed down there. Well, it vibrated So it was kind of an early clue as to how solid was the surface of the moon.
What was amazing about this is that suddenly the moon began to ring like a bell and did so for nearly an hour. Dr. Werner von Braun, who was then the head of NASA, decided that for Apollo 13, they were going to intentionally crash a heavier portion of the rocket into the lunar surface. And when they did this, the moon rang like a gong this time for over 3 hours into a depth of over 20 miles.
This was not expected, and it still puzzles a lot of scientists today. The inference is that the moon must be hollow, because the moon is made predominantly on the surface of a kind of rock called basalt. Although it's a very lightweight rock, it also absorbs impact extremely well. And so if the whole of the moon was made that kind of rock, you wouldn't expect it to reverberate when a large impact took place. The reason that this is played down is because the idea of the moon being hollow just contradicts what we know about physics.
There you go. Questions?
I mean,
I'm not Joe go tackle this one because now I'm
this
curious.
goes back. This just goes back to everything I
go
say.
back to more of this.
Show you proof?
No. Why don't we do it?
Why don't
why don't
we
we
go up there? Because we
figure it out.
Because
get a drill up
his
there.
argument is
and
we've been
frickin'
told.
do it. I know what his argument is every time. That's why I didn't say it.
And our handlers don't want us to know.
Our handlers. Bad boy.
Because that would exactly
Stop
be.
looking up this information.
Because that immediately it comes out that says, oh, we've now discovered that the moon is hollow, and then there's all these things saying, oh, we've had the idea. So why wasn't this discussed openly to the public when it was first thought of that? Oh, it might be.
Maybe they're being lazy. Maybe they didn't want to go up there at that point.
No, they didn't
and
want to.
And if they did let it out...
Because they're afraid it's going to incite riots and overthrow governments. That's exactly why. Yeah. You're lying to us. They're straight up lying to us.
Yeah, but alright.
We've
Back
seen
to my
it.
argument the other day where... So our government doesn't want us to know, and other governments obviously don't want to know. But there's got to be somebody out there, some government that wants to know the truth. Like, why doesn't the place shoot a rocket up there or some scientists?
Because
government wants to lose control of their people?
What people who in control want to lose?
That we would lose control. Like, you think we would? I wouldn't riot if I found out the moon wasn't real.
You might not, but the other people.
Do you honestly think people would riot?
Yeah, because it creates a firestorm of if they had an idea about this and didn't tell us, what else did they have an idea about, or what are they not telling us?
I feel like they've rioted over littler shit.
They have.
I think conspiracy theorists would
look at the LA riots alone. Oh,
look at the
conspiracy theorists will be standing in the middle of the riot, being like, "I've been telling you this forever."
Look at the riot when the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl.
What was it?
Look at the riot when the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, look
what would happen if Buffalo team won the Super Bowl.
Philly, man.
We would burn the city.
If Buffalo won a Super Bowl,
this
city would crumble.
Fucking Stanley Cup or Super Bowl.
Yeah,
the city would be down for months.
So we've now talked about the moon being an artificial structure. We've talked about them going to the moon and it rang like a bell. We're going to shift gears a little bit. And we're going to talk about, Joe kind of brought up, what if we didn't really go to the moon? We're not going to get we're not going to get into
the false, or
we're not going to get into the false accusation if we went or if we didn't win. Let's just say, what if we really didn't go to the moon? And what if the moon is a fake structure that we've never been to, we can't reach, and we're gonna go down the rabbit hole a little bit.
It takes like 3 days to get there. Why would we do it?
What if we never even been to outer space and it's like the Truman Show and we're just in a dome?
Come on, stop.
Yeah.
People have been in space.
That's pretty much what the.
Have you?
Hey,
no.
Hey, what you just said right there is pretty much like what puddle theory is. Like, we explained it when we did some Hollow Earth and stuff like that. Is where like Antarctica is actually like the outside of the puddle that we live in, and we can't get outside of it because there is like a dome.
There's a dome.
So,
Have you been to space?
No.
Okay. How do you know?
So,
how do you know?
All right, we're gonna go down the rabbit hole on this
We
one.
might have a dome.
We're going down the rabbit hole on this one deep. You guys got to stay with me on this one because it's gonna get crazy.
Might as well
I got my cupcake, man. I'm ready.
You might as well call me Alice, bro. We're going.
It's gonna get crazy, and I know Brenden, being a computer guy, he's going to pick these two videos apart. Being a computer guy and a video guy, he's gonna pick these apart.
And Joe, just because I'm an asshole, I'm gonna pick them apart.
Well, Joe, you're gonna say you're literally just gonna say this is bullshit. I nowhere at all believe anything about this theory. It's very weird, and I can't say there's anything that points out that it's true or it's definitive or anything. It's really weird, but I've heard about it several times. It's called the lunar wave theory. Mm-hmm. So this guy's been on, once again, we'll plug the Higher Side Chats podcast. Check out Greg Carlwood. Has amazing podcasts. He has a reoccurring guest. He goes by Crow777. He's got his own YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. Check him out. He's got a lot of cool stuff about the moon. He has videotape proof of the lunar wave theory. He's got several videos. So what his theory is that the moon is a structure that's there. Whether it be only half of a structure, a whole structure, whatever, but he claims it's a monitoring, he doesn't claim, he theorizes it's a monitoring structure that orbits us and monitors, and he has caught this lunar wave when you're looking at it. Why are you fucking with shit?
That's what he talks about.
Because it bothers you.
But I'm talking to you, and
I'm listening. Just touching the shade. Jesus.
So
we're losing listeners.
So what he's talking about is this structure orbits us, mm-hmm. and it has an update feature, and that's what he believes this lunar wave is. Mm-hmm. We're now going to pull up Crow's video of the lunar wave. It's pretty crazy.
Crow 777.
Yeah.
2 R's.
Yeah, that's weird.
Lunar wave. Never heard it or seen of this? You can find out more at this website.
So here we go. Here's the Crow 777 footage. We're going to do them in the order they were filmed. And again, my footage falls before or after equinoxes. This is the Holy Grail footage. If I had not shot this particular footage, all footage would have been dismissible by those who want to argue against this being a real event. Just the camera pan and the way that it was shot allowed me to know that it was an actual event, and it allowed me to use a measuring stick against other footage that I saw, where there was no doubt in my mind that we're looking at something that has gone unreported by NASA, which is not surprising. So here it comes at the bottom. The wave comes in, it goes out of frame, and then catches up camera, which has always meant this was never an equipment failure, not to mention that it's an organic wave, and it did.
Alright, we're going to pause for a second. Did everyone see the wave?
I saw it, yeah.
Did you see the wave?
It looked like video.
Yeah, it looked like
tracking.
It kind of looked like tracking, but it's digital.
Right.
It's digital, and you see him, he talks, he pans. You see the wave start, and then he pans up, and then the wave catches up again.
Yeah.
And it's a continuous speed. It doesn't speed up or start again. And it doesn't... You'll see it actually happens twice in this video. So it's basically what it is like he thinks it's either an interruption or an update in the moon. Like it's like that's like okay, so like it's made its rotation, it's now doing it's updating. Or it's updating like the surface of the moon, like what we see. It's like a wave function, like as if it was a hologram or a picture.
A moonquake.
I don't think you'd be able to see that.
We still have seismic gear up there. How come? So NASA's like basically
because
this didn't happen.
But
yeah, obviously they wouldn't. They wouldn't
telling us that.
I doubt even if he sent a video to NASA, they'd even acknowledge it. They'd be like, I'm not looking at this video. Why the fuck would I look at this video?
Right.
You just did something with CGI or blah 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 or whatever. Like same thing they do with their videos and their shit. You know.
So that's a problem with video functionality these days.
Yeah.
You can make anything happen.
You can. But it's weird. That's why I said, like, there's no definitive proof of this that it's real or whatever or not, but it's a crazy theory to think of.
He says this happens mostly around the equinox?
No, this video was shot during the equinox.
Okay.
This one was.
Digital instruments don't fail
See, here's
that
the
way.
second one.
Just after the first wave ends 4 seconds, there is a shadow type that crosses the upper left. I wonder if that's some kind of a satellite device that is involved in this some way. Here's the second wave, filmed March 9th, 2014. On all my footage, I've been able to measure the angle of the wave, which I present you here. I don't know whether the other scopes were polar aligned or equatorial aligned, so I don't really have the ability to do that. And truthfully, they're also zoomed in, so it would be difficult to understand the orientation of the moon, although I suppose we could look at a model for that night. Okay, here comes the wave. There's wave 1.
It's from the top
And
one
there's
side.
the second. This is one of the unusual films where the moon is not.
All right, you can't really watch the video anymore because the transfer from the tablet to the TV is really choppy right now for some reason. I don't want to play that audio over our podcast. It's horrible audio. But what we see is this wave. It's literally an observable wave, and he does do like a close-up on the wave, and you kind of see it like it actually is. It's like an optical illusion. Like when the wave goes by, it like he shows it in another video that maybe I'll see if I can find. And I'll show you guys next week. I didn't realize this audio was gonna be this bad. He puts a line marker on his footage that he digitally puts in, and then the wave goes by, and he like puts it over like a asteroid crater, and then when the wave goes by, there's a discrepancy. The crater is now in a different, like the edge of the crater is now in a different spot.
Is there ever any visual footage of like a focal point where the wave is coming into itself?
No, I don't think so, because
it's just like a full scan.
Yeah, I don't think so. I haven't seen it, but I'm not saying there isn't. But that's the whole thing. Is like people say it could be a lensing effect due to our atmosphere, and he does claim, he goes, there was nothing really there that could create the lensing effect, like an airplane going by that would create a ripple in the air.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. He goes, it's clear nights, there's no airplanes, whatever. But like, that's the thing, is like it's so hard because it's so far away and they're zooming it in. What?
I don't look like he was sleeping.
Yes, he's sleeping while he's smacking himself with his phone.
Was that proposed?
I don't know. Like, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about the moon? Like, I've given you guys a bunch of information today. What do you guys think? You still think the moon's just a hunk of rock that's up there?
Look more. Well, I mean, there's no legit proof of anything. Like,
there's no
either way.
Yeah, there's no legit proof of it's just a piece of rock.
Unless we were ourselves were out there. Same thing with Antarctica. Like, we don't know if there's a hole there unless we personally go there and look.
Yeah.
So I can't honestly say anything about it, other than I'm interested to learn more about the topic because now I'm kind of intrigued.
20th episode, we're going to the moon.
We're going to the moon, boys.
20th episode.
We're going to the moon.
Episode 20. We're going to the moon.
I'm gonna try and plan something pretty cool for episode 20. We might do
science experiments.
I don't know. We'll figure something out. Maybe we'll go. Maybe we'll do like
chicken wing crawl.
Maybe we'll do an no. We're not that kind of podcast anymore. Maybe we'll do.
Maybe we will by episode 20. We change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Constantly.
I don't know. Maybe we'll do something cool. Maybe we'll go to the observatory and check some shit out. We'll do a podcast from there with my recording piece, you know.
So what's cool is when I was a little kid, my next door neighbor had like a telescope.
Yeah.
It was literally the size of his tool shed. Like it was fucking huge.
Mm-hmm.
They would like drag it out.
I feel like you
chair.
gotta speak up though.
Yeah.
It had like a chair on it. It was a huge ass telescope. We used to have let me look through it, and I was able to see the moon like pretty fucking clear.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never noticed anything like. I mean, I was
Yeah.
5, 6, whatever.
I had a telescope when I was a kid that
It's
I
not
could
like-
see the moon very clearly, but like
No, I
only
kind
used
of
it
want to go
a few
buy
times.
one. I want to get a nice telescope.
I want to get a nice telescope that I could do space shots with the cameras.
Yeah.
They have hookups that screw right onto our lenses that go right into the viewer.
Yeah.
But like the type of like what you want instead of you're paying like $500 for your.
I want to look into it because I'd like to do some more.
So would I.
Space site sort of. Cool
We
shit
can
like
go out
that.
to Angola. We can go out to all kinds of places where there's not a lot of light pollution.
Yeah.
Your house would probably be a little bit better, but here
I'm pretty close to the city.
you're not that bad.
Well, I'm on the lake, so all the light around the
It's
lake.
not that bad.
Yeah, all right, whatever.
But like Angola, where we went down before, it's not bad. So,
Definitely.
anyone's impression change of what our moon?
I mean,
our moon might be.
I'm curious. I want to do some more.
You want to do some more research?
Do some more looking into it. 'Cause
Well, why don't you?
I'm
do,
intrigued.
So we're gonna have a week off like we do. We're back to normal. We're doing every other week.
Do not give him a task.
Don't give me a task.
He's not
What?
doing it.
Because I'll never complete it.
He's not doing it.
I never even watched it.
I know this guy didn't even watch it.
He didn't even sit down, start a movie, and watch it.
I know.
He's gonna do
2-hour
research.
movie, like, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's longer. It's on the longer side, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, it's about 2 hours. Something like that.
I'll watch it tonight.
Do we want to discuss a movie today? We still got 10
Might as
minutes
well.
or so.
I mean, do it. Do what movie?
Do we want to talk about Dark Phoenix?
Do we want to
Since
talk
it's
about
out and it's tanking?
It's tanking. And we haven't seen it yet, so
I
we
feel,
don't know.
you know,
Well, we
I
might
feel
go
like
see
they just wanted to get that movie out, finish a story, and that's it.
I agree.
They finish a story.
100% agree.
And that's it. Now Marvel's taking over.
Yeah.
When Marvel takes
I
over,
heard.
they
I
try
see.
and
I haven't
use the
watched it,
same
but I heard
actors.
they killed Jean Grey off again.
I mean, probably.
She died so many times, but she keeps coming back.
Well, it was the timeline change
Oh.
with Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
I'm just so stuck in my ways, like my growing up
Your
watching
ego?
X-Men
Yeah.
and the cartoon and
Yeah.
Jean Grey as a grown woman and
Like
so
she
I
was
can't-
in the first 3.
Yeah, and I can't see her dying as this young ass Sansa Stark. You know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
But look at how young Peter Parker is and how young Aunt May is now, and like everything's changing. We're getting older and everyone's getting younger.
Yeah.
it's horse shit.
Because we were young and they were actually like the same age they are now. It's just we were young and thought of them older when all those came out.
Yeah, maybe. I guess.
That first Spider-Man came out in like 2001. We were 11.
Yeah,
Well, I was
technically he
11.
high school, right?
Huh?
He was technically in high school, right?
Yeah, Tobey
Yeah.
Maguire, grown ass
Like his
man
last
in
year in high school or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What Spider-Man was always in high school when he got his powers.
Yeah.
Went on a field trip to Oscorp.
Yeah.
I don't watch Spider-Man.
What? Oh my god.
I like
So-
the new ones. I never seen the Garfield ones.
Oh, those were the better ones. I like
Really?
those. I like
Those
those
are
better
good.
than Tobey Maguire.
He was never my favorite.
He looked like a good Spider-Man. And
He was, and he was funny. He was witty. But then Tom Holland came along. And
I like
took
Tom
the cake.
Holland's Spider-Man.
Yeah, he took the cake. So I don't know. Dark Phoenix. You know, there's reports it's tanking. We've been told it's getting pulled from theaters because no one's going to see it. Like, I agree with Joe. I think they just kind of slapped this movie together and was like,
It's
all
like
right,
they
that's the
had
end
plenty
of it.
of time. To
You
do
know what it is?
And why does it feel?
I figured it out. It's Sophie Turner.
She ruined everything.
She
ruined the final season of Game of Thrones, and now she ruined the final the final thing of X-Men. She's the common denominator.
All right, hey man, you know that's a good.
Just like that video,
observation.
just like that fucking meme you sent me, where it's like, Jon Snow said this, and backwards it means this, and that makes no fucking sense. Just like the
season 7,
season
Just
8
like
of
season 8 of Game of
Thrones. Like that was fucking hilarious.
But Sophie Turner, yeah.
I think she's the curse.
Yeah, but she was on Game of Thrones the whole time, and it was like, great.
Yeah, but her
It's
role
not like she just-
her role wasn't that big until the last 2 seasons.
You can't say she's like Brie Larson because she destroyed the Marvel universe.
No,
when
I
she
didn't.
came in,
I also don't think she destroyed. Will you get that away from him? What is wrong with you?
Stop, dude. You might drop that on me, dude.
Yeah, God.
It's like fucking.
A lot of things.
It's like literally pointing a gun at somebody.
Yeah. No, but really, like, what if she's like the curse? Now everything that Sophie Turner's in is just gonna tank.
You know, I love Days of Futures Past.
I do.
But it didn't do that well either.
But I thought it was a decent movie.
I thought it was good too.
I thought Apocalypse
So,
was good too.
so maybe
no. Days of Future Past did okay. Apocalypse tanked.
And
too.
I thought Apocalypse was fine.
I thought Apocalypse was fine too. But I
so
think
maybe Dark Phoenix is fine.
It probably
We're
is.
not going to go see it.
Yeah.
Which we
Well,
should
we
do today.
Yeah.
Unless we're bringing him.
No.
You want to come?
No.
Want a cupcake? Want a watermelon cupcake?
But then, did you also hear that Jason Momoa wants to do a remake of Twins with
Peter
Dinklage?
You said that. You told me that.
Did I
That'd
tell
be
you that?
awesome.
That would be awesome. Instead of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito.
That's such a stretch in size, though. Like Danny DeVito's not that small.
Yes, he is.
He's not
pretty short.
Peter
He's not
Dinklage.
Dinklage.
No, he's not. But Jason Momoa is not also the same height as Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I feel like he's the same height. Maybe not the
He's
same
not.
I
thickness.
don't know if that's
not.
tall. I thought he was only 6'2".
Yeah, he's not that tall. Arnold Schwarzenegger is taller than that.
Fact checker.
Okay, Google.
All right, you do Momoa. You do Arnold
Okay,
Schwarzenegger.
Google. How tall is Jason Momoa? He's 6'4", with my height.
Oh
Okay.
shit.
And Dinklage, that's gonna be quite a difference.
But it's not gonna be like. That's the whole point. It's not gonna be exactly the same.
Momoa's taller.
Is he?
Yeah,
Come on.
He's only 6'2".
Maybe 6'2" now, but I think he was taller when he was younger.
Come on, dude. He's not that old. It's not like he's shrinking age.
How old is he? How old is Arnold Schwarzenegger?
He's like 64.
60, yeah.
He's probably closer to 70.
Yeah, maybe.
66.
Fucking turkey necks.
He's my
Almost 70.
I don't know how you call him that.
He's a turkey neck. He just pulled up his IMDb page by now.
You could just ask Siri.
No, I was seeing if they had his measurements like.
Or what the hell you use.
Yeah, when he was doing weightlifting and shit, he was 6'1.5".
Really? I don't know. That's crazy. Maybe just
So how
everyone.
old
Maybe
is
just everyone in the 80s was that
I
short.
thought you just said it.
I don't know. I was.
You said
asking.
Momoa was 6'4".
Yes, no, I'm asking how old Arnold
Oh,
is.
I thought didn't he just say Arnold's?
No, we
age?
can't fucking.
I was guessing.
We can't.
Oh, I thought you looked it up.
No.
Oh shit, he's 71.
There you go. He's fucking old as shit.
Shit, he's almost on his way out.
He's almost on his way out.
Well, all right. So then let's shift gears. Let's talk about the new Terminator movie.
I want to see that.
I really want to see that.
I really want to see
What about you?
I'll look at it.
Really?
I haven't watched a Terminator movie in so long.
But it takes place after 2.
I know, but I haven't watched a Terminator movie since. What's the one when he like has a bunch of guns in the casket?
3.
That's the
3.
one. Last one I saw.
I should just watch Terminator Genesis with Emilia Clarke. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's out of timeline, but it's really good. Skip over Salvation. That one sucked with Christian Bale.
That was the
It was
first.
bad. That was the bad downfall.
That was the first Blu-ray I ever owned.
Really?
Yeah.
The movie was bad.
So you're for making bad choices back then too?
BDB! Bad decision,
Somebody bought
Brenden!
it for me, man.
Bad
BDB.
decision, Brenden, man.
Somebody bought that for me, man.
But, so, the new Terminator takes place after 2, where John and them defeat the T-2000.
1,000.
Is it wasn't 1,000?
T-1000.
Then what was Arnold Schwarzenegger? Was he the T-100? I don't remember either.
I gotta watch that movie again.
Yeah. So
Terminator Night.
So it takes place after that, where they defeat him, and 3 didn't happen yet.
Right.
And Sarah Connor's still alive. I wonder if we're gonna get a cameo from the guy who played
The original John Connor? Or
yeah.
the kid?
Yeah.
Didn't he, like, Getting him like drugs and shit.
Yeah, but so did all child actors.
I guess.
Besides, like maybe
Yeah,
like
Macaulay
a few.
Culkin's
Except for
making a comeback.
Neil Patrick Harris.
I'm pretty sure he did drugs.
I'm pretty
No
sure
way,
the
man.
movies he was in was about drugs.
Just smoked a flesh pipe, man. That's all good, bro.
Yeah. So
that's the only drug he got into.
So it looks pretty cool. It's got a new girl in it who's like supposed to be like Sarah Connor says in the preview. She's like, I used to be her. Like maybe like the future has decided like this girl is now like the one we need to kill to stop the whatever. Blah blah blah. There's a new Terminator who's like more human than robot, and she's like, I'm not a robot. Yeah. And then there's a new Terminator who's like he's got like a
cloning ability.
No, yes, but he's got like a solid steel skeleton, and then like he can separate the liquid metal off of him and create two of them basically. So then he's walking around with like the steel skeleton and
the double team.
Yeah, like it looks really good. Looks really good. Sarah Connor looks old as shit.
Want to have a threesome? Hold on a second.
What?
She doesn't look that old.
Pull up the video.
I don't want to.
Because you know she looks old.
That
She looks like hammered crab.
She's in her late 60s.
She looks like hammered crab.
She does. She looks like sun-dried tomatoes
She
if it was
looked
made out
like
of
that
flesh.
when she was young.
No, she didn't.
She looked like sun-dried fried green
She
tomato.
looks like a sun-dried fucking hot dog.
Looks like an avocado had sex with a.
She was born in 56.
Older, angrier avocado.
She was born in 56, man.
Yeah, so my grandma was born in 46. She's 10 years younger than my grandma.
Listen, man. Just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
What about The Lion King?
The new one?
I'm pumped.
Really?
I'm pumped. What? How are you not pumped to see
It's
the new
just
Lion
CGI,
King, bro?
isn't it?
Who's calling you?
Robocolor.
Debt collection. Debt collector.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's
all CGI, right?
Yeah, it's live action.
Yeah.
It's like
Not
fucking,
live action, not using real lions.
It looks
like,
like
yo, bro!
fucking. It looks like the Jungle Book, motherfucker.
I know,
Like,
I get it.
but they call Jungle Book live action.
Well, you saw Aladdin.
Oh, Aladdin was. I thought Aladdin was great.
Yeah,
I figured it was.
Yeah, it was good. Man.
wanna see it.
I like Will Smith. I like.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
The thing is, I feel like they're coming out with these so quickly that
They
they're not
said
giving them time.
they have 22 on deck that they're gonna start making. 22
They're
others.
so fast, like they don't get a chance to get. They're not putting production value into them.
You know what
I think
they're
they
not
are.
taking advantage of? Opening the vault.
Yeah.
Like they need to open the vault, re-release these Disney movies. the
Yeah,
originals.
so they can get their kids in and then be like, let's go watch the live action one,
Yeah.
guys. Like they
Yeah.
gotta
Disney's not
Yeah,
opening
they
the
haven't
vault.
opened that vault in years, man.
in years.
Listen, just because I can register higher voice levels than you can.
Do we got anything else we want to talk about? Or we want to end this bad boy. We're out of here. All right, guys. Thanks for listening.